Hey Ophiuchus, gonna jump straight in, so what's to come out for you guys. I split the deck, we had the world. First card out, we've got Justice, Present Energy. Starting your reading at 2:21 p.m. Chariot. This is getting back to balance. This is the best is an illusion. There is no such thing as better than something, 222. There's only such thing as different. When you're comparing two luxury clothing brands, what one's better than the other? Is there such thing? The one that's better to one is not going to be better to the other. We all have our preferences. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Some of us, no matter how many achievements we get, how many successes we have, regardless of our credentials, regardless of our reputation, that we find bliss in certain areas of nostalgia that may not be seen as the best, but are the best to us. Some things that are the best to many can even be disliked and seen as the worst. That you define your own best. This is an end to comparison. This is giving yourself the title of being the best, because everything you do is to the best of your ability. There is a knowing that your dedication is unmatched. Your love, your dedication, intention, unconditional love, your care, your attention to detail, your self-reflection, your patience is unmatched. This isn't about what you do, this is about why you're doing it. And this realization, this lesson has come to an end. This gives you freedom to do whatever you want, however you want to do it, however you like to do it, whenever you'd want to do it. And know that that in itself is the best. That we can break things down in terms of value, in terms of price, but it's all an illusion anyway. You can really grow something as far as you want and see it as abundant as you want, or you can see it as small as you want. Random example, you decide you want to start selling flower pots and you buy the materials to make the flower pots and you add up how much those materials are. Then you count how many hours it's taken you to make the pot, and whatever job you last had, you was paid a certain amount an hour. So that is the amount you're used to receiving, the amount that you're comfortable receiving. So you charge that an hour for your flower pots, as well as the materials, and now you're making a little bit more than what you used to make, and this feels like a great success. Now, somebody could sell the exact same flower pot with the exact same materials for 10 times the price of how much you or this person that I'm using as an example charges for the flower pot. Both flower pots will be sold, and they will both be worth what they are priced as, because the value of each pot is a reflection and a decision based on the reflection of self. The flower pots will be sold to two different people with two different sets of values and two different sets of ranks of finance, but both will be of the value that they're told they're a value of. You choose how much your time is worth. Is an hour of your time worth £1? Is it worth £1 million? Is it worth £1 billion? Is it worth £1 trillion? That's up to you. You decide what you're worth, what your time is worth, what your value is, and it's all an illusion. This is a realization that there is no right price to put on anything you create. It's only what is right for you. If you receive £10 for your flower pot or £1 million for your flower pot, that is up to you. And regardless of who thinks what about it, it doesn't make a difference to you choosing what you're receiving. Now, this comes back to what I was saying about when I was guided to watch the Palace Hotel video, where they had diners come in to eat a tin of caviar that was worth 11,000 francs, and that my guides put me in this place to say, are you worth more than a tin of fish eggs? And at first I would have said no, and after this shift of perception, I understand that, do I actually think I'm worth more than a tin of fish eggs? Yes. Would I sacrifice a tin of fish eggs to save myself? Yes. However, to put a product up for £11,000 would have never have been a thought of mine, a question, because it's out of reach, it's out of my worth. And this is an illusion of this, a dissolving of the illusion of what things are worth, and understanding that you choose your worth, you choose your worth, you choose your audience, you choose how you live in this life, and if that's going to be in an abundant way or not. And that doesn't mean just in terms of finances. This is in terms of everything you do. This is a whole timeline shift. This is a whole like whacking you out of your own this is whacking you out of your own beliefs almost. This is a breaking down of the old self. This is relating to yourself differently. Now, if somebody starts their flower pot business, back to this, if they start their flower pot business selling their flower pots for as little as possible, and they get wrapped up in that business of improving the flower pots and, you know, never breaking through certain abundance blocks before they're knee deep in the hands-on work of things, they may never see the potential or have the space to see that they are trapping themselves in a never-ending cycle of working, like chasing your tail, working for never enough. There's a reason that certain things didn't start when you wanted them to start, and it's because you would have been starting a completely different thing, whether this is business, relationship, friendship. Like, there's something that you really desired in your life to begin, something to begin, to start anew in friendships, social circles, relationships, family situations, and maybe in terms of having children. This is a general reading. This is that new beginning energy. This is that clean slate energy. By you, whether it was willingly or unwillingly, investing time in the unseen work, you know, in the depths of your own shadow, bringing awareness to those cringy areas of generational patterns and fears, you would never have had the opportunity to create at this level, to exist at this level, to love at this level. We can only love, oftentimes we love others how we've been loved ourselves through childhood. If there's been a lack of love, there's been abandonment, we abandon ourselves. That shows up in relationships. If we don't think we're worth it, if we're, you know, whatever it might be, a sacrifice of self. This is healing the relationship to self, and therefore healing the relationship to anything else in your life, person, place or thing. We can only give love to the extent that we can receive it from ourselves in a way. And this is a forgiveness of self. This is a humbling, this is a breaking down to break through. very activational energy. You could really be jumping out of yourself, jumping all about the place, here, there and everywhere. A lot of activations taking place, a lot of things clearing, new energy settling in. Is a wild time. Feeling very uncomfortable in your own body. You may be finding it difficult to stay grounded at this time. Try not to focus on the fact that it's difficult to stay grounded, and just intentionally do what you can to stay grounded, regardless of and just be in that place of knowing you've done your best, and then breathing through the rest. Because some of this is like, even in the deepest of meditations, even in a cold ice bath, these energies are coming through. They're coming through and out of you, 1344. And you could be really frustrated, feeling disappointed, like no matter how hard you fight, you can't control your own energies right now. This isn't about controlling your energies right now. This is about surrendering into yourself. Something's coming through about taking a break from society, and somebody could be like, are you having a laugh? I ain't even in society, and I ain't been in society. So this is coming through. So I was saying to my sister, because I had a similar message come through, and it's coming through now. And you could be like, what is going on? Something's wrong, it's been too long, Eight of Swords. The more it's something wrong, it's been too long, the more it is something wrong, it's been too long. Detach, rise above it, take your attention off it, completely go the other way. Watch something completely unrelated to anything you're doing, anything you're working through at the moment. Watch a film, go and do something fun, go to some kind of a networking kind of thing, or anything just completely out of your comfort zone and out of your current narratives, like a salsa night or a darts night. And if you normally do salsa, go to darts, and if you normally play darts, go to salsa. Something different, something light. Even that thing of negativity fuels the forces around that want to keep us in fear, right? So what we're going to do, we need to get into the light. When it gets really dark, you start feeling that heat coming up the back of up your back, and you can feel it right there over you. I normally switch to what I shared with you before, the Winx soundtrack, or something completely, I just imagine myself lighting up with fairy wings, flying through the sky, sword in hand. The Winx song coming through. Believe it. You're magical. All you have to do is believe in yourself, and everything will change. You've got the power. Death. Ding ding ding. Lovers. I'll be real. This is coming through like feeling a little disturbed that everything you judged relating to the masculine energies and the feminine energies throughout your lineage, it's like all the things you really wanted nothing to do with, it's seeing these things in your own psyche, in your own there's a scene in Gilmore Girls, and it's coming through, where Lorelai's sitting there doing her makeup. Her mum's doing her makeup. Lorelai's mum's doing her makeup. I forgot what the woman's name is, the grandma. And then she goes in the bathroom, and Lorelai sits down, the daughter, and starts doing her makeup. And it's like they pick up the powder the same way. They put it on the same way. And her daughter's looking at her and like, whoa, that's freaky. You're literally like completely cloning the movement, and I think I notice it in things like the way I'll make food, or it's just weird. In Sheldon there's a bit as well when he's eating food, or they're eating a sandwich or something, and he eats it exactly the same as his dad. And it's like the same timing. They put the butter down, they put the bread down, they fold it, they pick it up, they eat it the same way, cut it the same way. And it's like, there's something like this where all the things that you've been holding resentment for, you've seen how similar patterns have driven your reality in the past that maybe you've moved on from now. But it's that thing of what's coming through is being a learner driver, and how drivers will be beeping learner drivers and getting mad frustrated, but everybody was a learner at one point. We forget when we were in a certain situation, or when certain people get to a certain age, if there's like that lack of awareness where you're judging younger people for doing things that you did, that you, like initiations maybe you went through, but now you're kind of out of it and high and mighty, you can kind of say, well, no, this is wrong. But it's like, oh, this is heavy. It's this is some king type shit, right? Because this means 1441, this is haunting. This is haunting because you had no in your human self, you had no choice of what you was going to inherit, so to speak, what you'd have to deal with and what you'd have to work through, and what sides of the generational patterns would trigger or haunt or disturb your true nature. And it's one thing to be witnessing that in others, but to understand that the same patterns also came through us, that they still, like, although they don't belong to us, they're things that have driven unconsciously, subconsciously, our decision making, where we were the person that we are now judging in one way or another. This is coming back to when you was in the trenches of things, when you really wouldn't have wanted anybody to see you on your worst day, on your grimiest day, that now you're clean and pristine, so to speak, in terms of clearing these hideous generational patterns. To move from a place of empathy, consideration and integrity, with remembrance of where you came from, and that when you're in it, it's not that easy. Like, there's been many a times, because it feels like people around you, people you really love, you've been affected by their decision makings, by something going on. This is forgiveness in the highest sense of forgiveness, and understanding that really it all comes back to self. And have you forgiven yourself and can still hold space and unconditional love for the ugliness of the human, of the suffering side of being human, the addictions, the lust, the hurt that fuels hurt, that breeds hate, not in a place of enlightenment and judgment, but in a place of knowing that whoever moves in a way of pain needs only to be loved. 444. This is a joke ting. I'm telling you, this is my guidance as well at the moment. And you know what I say to him? F them all. But that's what I say. I say, F them all. You shouldn't have sought yourself out, man. It's a joke. But no, that's what I said to myself. Forgive them all. Big or small. Who we got here? The Magician. We got Lovers, Justice, Chariot, Sun, Magician. That's 5 cards out. That's 5 major arcana. Just saying. Foundational factors. I got that song coming through. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl, a good old collar. I wish I had a rabbit in a hat. What is this about? I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was... 9 of Swords. call it a good avocado. I can't think of the next bit. The moon. The moon. The moon. The sun and the moon. Okay, what is this absolute mess here? Nine of Swords with the sleepless nights, the stress, well, yeah. Yeah. It is. The only way out is through. There's no point turning a blind eye to it. There's no point looking the other way. No matter how far you run, no matter how far you run from yourself or ignore certain sides of yourself, they're going to be with you. Make peace. Make peace with yourself. Make peace with everybody. Be water, my friend. Interesting. Something coming through. I was in the bath trying to just to take a minute after severe injuries, and I was like, I need to just, like, I don't know what to do. I'm scared. I'm just like, even the bath's not going to relax me. Like, I just can't work it out. And I was in an absolute state. And it's like these energies just come through. Some messages come through. And I was kind of like just laying with like my whole head in, like, laying back in the water. And it was like, be water, my friend. And I was like, yeah, I get it. Like, surrender. And it was like, no, tune in. And I tuned in. And it was like merging with the water. And maybe try this. And it's like my whole body surrendered, and I could feel the water, because although pretty still in the bath, it was just like really silkily, like just really gently moving, almost like it was breathing 47 in a really, you know, like kind of just like in and out, but in like a really soft, sultry way. And I had my eyes closed. It was like, pick the water up is the message that come through. So I'm laying there completely just like trying to like just let go, so I sway with the water to kind of become the water, be the water, like and I was trying to pick the water up, and obviously you can't pick the water up. It's just going through my hand. So I'm like, what's the point of this, you know? It's like, you can't grip the water. The water can't grip itself. Like, this part of the water can't hold on to that part of the water. It's just loose, free, surrendered, flowing. It can't be shaped. And it's like, yeah, the amount of times my whole entire life I've heard the Bruce Lee, you know, be water, be, you know, and the amount of times I've watched them interviews, it's never hit, and I've never felt it in the body, and not just the body, but my whole being, to in that moment be the water. And there's something coming through to try this. If you've got the luxury of having natural sources of water around you, you know, the sea, the lakes, whatever it might be, definitely, obviously in a safe way, not out in the middle of the sea and go into meditation, be water, my friend, because that is not what I'm saying. But, you know, like to really just close your eyes. And there's this Christmas film I've been watching, you know what, let me not forget the message. Christmas film I've been watching, the Northern Lights or something, and her and her dad go on a trip to see the Northern Lights with this tour guide, and he takes them to this place, and he's like, just close your eyes and listen. And it sounds like it's just silent, and if you listen really carefully, you can hear the ice cracking on the lake, and he says it sounds like it's breathing. And this is what's coming through. But it's only when they close their eyes and really quieten down all the inner noise as well as the outside noise that they can really hear and appreciate and become one with the cracking ice. And this is what's coming through in terms of the water here. To really dissolve yourself in the moment and take a minute to disconnect and separate yourself, because there's a shift and many shifts that need to take place But you're being guided to help yourself with this. King of Wands. Yeah, the Christmas films on Netflix, guys. Honestly, because my pattern recognition, there's like all of a sudden loads of Christmas films dropped on Netflix, and it literally looks like they're all filmed in the same place, in the same house. They're all got the same actors. They all got the same storyline. They all broke up with their ex-boyfriend from Eastern Europe. They all move off. But I'm telling you, there's like 4 that are the same, and they're all with a king, and they're all with this, and anyway. And I was saying to my sister, as if like it's just they put it into that AI thing or whatever, and it's just thrown up a film, and they've just made the same. Like there's even the same lines, you know, like how the how some of the films back in the day, like they're just, it would be the same setting but just with different characters. And I was saying to my sister, like, because we watched it, it was like, no way, like we're picking up on these patterns. We're like, this is mad. She was like, yeah, what's more mad is that there's people that actually watch it. And I was like, yeah, like me. But actually, I must tell you that most people will be mad, like it's been a budget job. But wow, the absolute joy of, like in terms of neurodivergence, because I'm literally watching the same film over and over again, but I'm getting to watch a new film that's the same film with just an extra little dopamine boost, but nothing too much of a change to cause alarm. So if you are looking for not likely to offend or harm, cutesy little distractions, Christmas films on Netflix, I would highly recommend. 1452. My favourite one at the moment is A Castle for Christmas. Obsessed. Anyway, I don't know where that's gone from or come from. 8 of Wands, celebration, yeehaw, lovely. How you see yourself. Determined to celebrate. It's like, you know what, I'll be here bleeding out. I'm gonna still, like, you know, shake a leg. One way or another. This is determination to be happy. Like, and even in that sense of like, there's energies out here that don't want us to be happy. This is like laughing in the face of adversity, laughing in the face of fear, laughing in the face of foolishness. I know I'm meant to be scared. I know I'm meant to be worried. I know I'm meant to be concerned. I know I'm meant to, but no, I'm dropping the weight. I'm letting it go. This is enough is enough. A realization of how you came to this planet to live, and you'd be damn right living like it one way or another. Enough is enough. Wheel of Fortune. This is realizing how many obstacles have been thrown your way from day, physically and spiritually, and what kind of life you could have been living if you had known things you knew now. This fuel could drown you or drive you, and it's like, get yourself in to a state for it to drive you, because everything you wish you had knew to have what you wanted, you have or are about to have. Wheel of Fortune, 6 of Pentacles. This is big boy breakthroughs. King of Pentacles. And this is what I'm saying about the delay, about the £10 flower pot or the £1 million flower pot. You might be starting the same business. You might be starting the same relationship as you would have started, but you're starting it as a different person now. Split the deck in half. He's back, Wheel of Fortune. You're starting it as a different person now, and the results are a whole different kettle of fish. King of Wands. Let's pull some fairies. We've got 2 cards come out here. Don't be deterred by challenges along the way. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately. Amazing new ideas that should be implemented. Reach out to others for assistance. Poor timing for a career change. Feeling challenged by money issues. This is reassurance to keep doing what you're doing, and the results are not a reflection of your lack of effort. That there's more to things than things are not as they seem. There's more to things than you realise, and you're being prepared for more than you asked for. So try to relax. Wishes come true, dreams fulfilled, a magical time of life. Gonna leave it there, guys. If this did resonate, like, share and subscribe. I'll catch you soon. Sending so much love.